Alright everyone, it is Finn here, and in today's video I'm going to be naming 3 strikers Manchester United should sign as a Cristiano Ronaldo replacement. Now of course I will admit, as a Manchester United fan, this video seems slightly weird to make because it did come out in the last day or two that apparently Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't happy at Manchester United.
Sometimes maybe shit.
Although I can't imagine many of the players are after the season we just had. But of course it looks like he might be out of the door very soon. Whether he goes to Chelsea, whether he goes to Bayern Munich, it doesn't matter. The only problem right now is, what do Manchester United do? Of course, the likes of Edinson Cavani has left the club. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo seems to be leaving. Marcus Rashford definitely can't play as a striker. Mason Greenwood, we won't get into that whole problem at the moment. But of course, the big question is, who do Manchester United get in that striker position? And of course, I've done a tiny bit of my research. And of course, in today's video, as I said, I've come up with 3 names Manchester United need to sign as a potential striker replacement. Because although I'm a big fan of the Malacia and Eriksson signing for United, we desperately need a number 9 up front. Oh, hi Mason. I would just like to state that in no way, shape or form was my cat named after Mason Greenwood. It was just the name that was given to him. Yeah. Now, striker number 1 that I'm going to be giving you guys, yes, I will admit before giving you the name that I am very aware that it is a very odd suggestion for me to make, yet I could totally see it work, as I've gone for the likes of Bayern Munich's main man up front. You know where this is going, Robert Lewandowski. Now, yes, I know Robert Lewandowski is a tiny bit of an aging player. He's about to turn 34 years old, but let me remind you that age when it comes to football nowadays is just a number. I mean, looking at Manchester United in terms of some of the strikers they've signed over the last few years, I mean, Zlatan Ibrahimovic and, yes, good example, Cristiano Ronaldo, both in their mid-30s when they signed for Manchester United, and both brilliant strikers for Man United.
Liars, they don't compare themselves with humans.
Therefore, if we get the likes of Robert Lewandowski for just 1 to 2 years on a short-term basis, this does help Manchester United's problems until they can find a younger, more permanent solution for the club. Obviously, looking at Lewandowski, he's been heavily linked to Barcelona for the last few months, but they've been unable to settle an agreement between the two of them. Obviously, Barcelona struggling with financial situations over the last few months. So, of course, I mean, if you look at things, Manchester United in a different financial situation, if we offer them the right amount, we might just be able to get the Polish striker up front. I mean, to be in like 34 years old and to get 50 goal contributions or 50 goals in 46 games last season, I don't mind having a striker like him in Manchester United whatsoever, including 9 goals and 9 World Cup qualification games for Poland.
Great success.
Although maybe Lewandowski is in his mid-30s, he is pretty much in the prime of his career. He just seems to be getting better and better. And of course, the likes of Ronaldo maybe being interested in Bayern Munich, we might be able to do a direct swap deal. We might not even have to pay that much in terms of a transfer fee. We might be able to do a direct transfer swap between the two. And I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't think he'll turn down the opportunity to go to Bayern Munich, a very strong looking club. Obviously, he would be able to prove himself as a Lewandowski replacement there. As I said, looking at Lewandowski, I wouldn't mind a striker like him. It just depends, once again, the problem with Man United over the last year or so with Ronaldo, the big talk is we need a striker that's got the ability to track back. We need a striker that can almost do defensive duties as well and really run around the pitch. Whether he's too old to do it at his current age, once again, as I said, at least on a short-term basis, I think Lewandowski would be a brilliant option. Now, jumping into player number 2, it is going to be a slightly younger player, and yes, once again, a slightly bit of an odd shout, but yet a striker that I could totally see work at Manchester United, and we would be able to get him as a free for because it is going to be the likes of Paulo Dybala. Now, as we know, the 28-year-old player has just finished his contract with Juventus, where I believe he's left a real legacy for himself. I mean, looking at him in terms of goals, he scored 82 goals in 210 games. Once again, a very clinical player. And although maybe that number itself doesn't sound absolutely lethal as a striker, we can't forget the absolute versatility of Paulo Dybala. He hasn't only played as a striker. He can play as a winger, as an attacking midfielder. He can play absolutely anywhere in that front 3. And that's why I believe it would be so crucial for a player like him to join the squad. He would be that kind of player to track back as a striker. I always look at a club as a reference like Manchester City or even the likes of Liverpool, where any of their front 3 can play anywhere in that front 3. I believe Paulo Dybala can do just that. Once again, although not traditionally a number 9, would add a lot of value to this Manchester United squad. And as I said, I mean, his contract's just ended, so we would be able to get him on a free. So once again, although maybe not a lethal striker up front, it surely is better than nothing, because at this moment heading into the season, we don't have anyone.
Hello there.
Obviously a very skillful player. As we know, he's very brilliant when it comes to one-on-one situations, and to be able to beat that last man in the defense of of your opposition is very, very crucial, and I do feel like it is something that we have been missing over the last few years. We need a player who's able to dribble around the opposition, and as we know, maybe he's not the tallest striker out there, but can still fit in a header or two. He's a very, very fast player, and obviously able to catch the defenders off guard when he charges into the box and score those crucial headers. So, you know what, player number 2, Paulo Dybala, I'm not totally against that idea. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think. Now, ladies and gentlemen, jumping into player number 3, and this is the player that I've saved for last for a reason, because this is the player that I'm the most convinced about. If I could get one player up front for Manchester United, this man would be it. Now, of course, I want you guys to put down in the comment section down below as well, if you could get one striker for Manchester United, who would you get? Realistically, let me know, because obviously looking at the striker position, I've gone for a clinical number 9 up front, as it is going to be the most expensive African player of all time. It's going to be Victor Osimhen. Obviously moved to the likes of Napoli a few years ago for 70 million euros, making him the most expensive African player of all time, and only 23 years old. He would obviously have a long-term future at Manchester United. Obviously, as we know, the likes of Igalo playing for United a few years ago, becoming the first Nigerian to play for Manchester United, obviously can follow in the likes of his footsteps. Obviously, looking at the likes of Victor Osimhen, he is a lethal striker up front and has done a decent job for Napoli. Obviously, the big problem is that he probably would cost an arm and a leg. Now, what I am going to say is going to be very, very controversial, and I might definitely get attacked for it, but I don't mind saying it. Obviously, Manchester United at the moment is looking to get the likes of Frankie de Jong for up to 70 to 80 million pounds. Now, yes, I know this is going to sound controversial, but I almost think that our main priority at this moment is getting a clinical young striker up front, that we shouldn't be spending that money on a midfielder. Yes, although we have lost a few midfielders, I do think that we still at least have a good enough job for the meantime, where in terms of a striker, we should rather put that money towards a lethal talisman up front. I mean, looking at the likes of Victor Osimhen, in terms of his career throughout his numbers throughout his career, looking at when he played for Lille in the French league, 13 goals in 25 games, obviously a goal every second game, more or less on average. When he played for Napoli, or so far for Napoli, 24 goals in 51 games, once again a goal almost every second game. Obviously looking for the Nigerian national team, even better, 15 goals in 22 games, obviously a goal in like 3/4 of the games he's played for them. I think looking at Victor Osimhen, once again a striker that would add a lot to this United team. He's also known for adding to the link-up play, so once again exactly what Manchester United need. I believe if you play him in front of almost that false 9 centre forward of a Bruno Fernandes, for example. Once again, as I said, just looking at Victor Osimhen, once again a heavily underrated player. As I said, my only problem is the fact that he would probably cost an arm and a leg, but if you put, dare I say, the Frankie de Jong fees towards that, it might be a far, far better option. As I said, I've got no idea, but it just might work. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's video. Those are my 3 suggestions as Cristiano Ronaldo replacements. As I said, I mean, it absolutely breaks my heart that a player like Ronaldo wants to leave United, yet I can't blame him. He has said that he wants to play the Champions League for the rest of his career, and at the moment I don't see that happening with Man United. I mean, you look at the likes of Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, they're just so strong. The likes of Arsenal obviously just keep getting stronger and stronger with the signings they make. You look at Tottenham Hotspurs, they just got the likes of Richarlison. Looking at these teams as a whole, it is not going to be easy, and I kind of understand why Ronaldo left. Obviously, looking at some honorable mentions that are almost mentioned as Ronaldo replacements that I didn't quite go for them. Obviously, I mentioned the likes of Calvert-Lewin. I've said on multiple occasions that I would love him at Manchester United, but you know, at the moment his bones seem to be made of glass, and I'm not that convinced. The last thing we can get now with these striker problems is a striker that struggles with injuries. I mean, I say we're losing all these strikers. At least we've got Anthony Martial. I'm so excited for that.
Was that sarcasm?
But obviously, as I said, Calvert-Lewin I'd absolutely love at Man United. But you know what, he has proven over the last year or two that he has struggled with injuries. But if he can keep his bones together, maybe he'll be a brilliant option. Obviously, another option would be the likes of Harry Kane. Now that Man City has gotten Erling Haaland, obviously it wouldn't be likely to get the likes of Harry Kane as well. But at the end of the day, once again, as I said, broken bones, I just don't see it as the viable option. And of course, the last honorable mention I have is one that I've been seeing going around quite a lot, which I've got very mixed emotions on, as it is going to be Neymar Jr. Once again, Neymar Jr., a very, very weird one, as we know, is brilliant when it comes to his numbers, his statistics, goals and assists. He is almost second to none. He is a brilliant player, but as I've mentioned with the other players, broken bones, it's just not a good deal for Manchester United. I would love a player like Neymar at United, but also in terms of a lethal number 9, I wouldn't quite describe Neymar as that. As I said, we do need a clinical striker. I do think Osimhen would be our best bet. As I said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the comment section down below if you could get any striker for Man United, who would you get? Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it in the comment section down below, or just hit the like button, not in the comment section. If we get this video to 20 likes, I'll know to do these kinds of videos more in the future. Obviously, replacement videos. Who should this team get as this team's replacements or this player's replacements? You know what I mean. Guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video. This has been your boy Finn, FYNN, and for the very last time, possibly soon.